Hey guys, here's yet another video I've been looking forward to bringing you for a long time. This is a Quorum Jubilee. I have wanted one of these for a couple years now. So the story behind that is I haven't paid attention to Quorum since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to get their catalog, and they had some really cool stuff like the Prism. They were the first place I ever saw a modern gyro fan, like a Matthews Fan Company knockoff. And you know, they had some really interesting, innovative stuff. They're also the first company I've ever seen to have a brass-plated spinner motor inside their fans, like inside the stationary housing. But I hadn't paid attention to them since Dan's Fan City left the Midwest, which is where I used to get the catalogs from. And then I made a friend at Quorum a few years ago through my connections at Fanimation and whatnot. So I looked through their lineup to see what I liked, because, you know, if I've got a friend there, I wanted to know. And this was my all-time favorite thing in their lineup. I thought it was really cool. And it's a kind of a reproduction of a vintage, I believe, Morelli fan. It's not an American antique. It's a reproduction of an Italian antique, I believe. Somebody will correct me. And I thought it was really cool. And so I, told my friend at Quorum to keep an eye out for me and see if he ever, one ever came back that he could send my way. And that didn't pan out, but one turned up on eBay for around $100. They normally sell for about $350, and I was like, well, for $100, I'm not missing my chance. I've always wanted one, and well, not always, but for the length of the story, wanted one, and so I said I'm gonna get it. And my thought was that there are very few fans that I would ever consider swapping the Columbia for in the living room, and this is the only new fan that I could think of, like modern, that I thought would go well in my living room. Other fans that I would consider, Metal Pete's getting really impatient there if you can't tell. Let me tell my story, Metal Pete. Once upon a time, Metal Pete had no patience. Chapter 1. So the other fans that I've considered for the living room, my first choice for the living room was an iFan. And there's only one other collector I know of that has one, and I tried to convince him to sell or trade me for my living room, and he wasn't ready to part with it yet. So then I went with the Columbia. What else? Possibly Ornate Terra is another thing I might consider for the living room. I'm trying to think of what else. ERS. There's certain things I would consider for the living room, but this is the only current production fan I would consider for the living room. And it would actually go really well with the Air Shadow and go really well with the Slimline. But I wanted to hang it up first out here and see how much I liked it. I think I like it about as much as I thought. Maybe a hair less. The motor is a little plain for me. I wish it wasn't just smooth with just those line vents in the center. I wish it was a little ornate-y. But other than that, I love the blades. I love the sculpted blades. I love the way they mount, the little hub mount. The overall profile of it is really nice. The canopy looks good on there. The lower canopy looks good on there. So it was surprisingly easy to assemble. I wasn't sure how complicated it would be. The motor already came assembled. Just had to put a down rod and canopy on it like a normal one. The blade brackets mount to the center hub with just 2 screws. It's very easy. The only thing that was tricky is mounting the blades to the blade brackets. They came with rubber washers. And it didn't say where the rubber washer should go, and it was not, and it didn't fit anywhere. So, and the instructions weren't clear, so we had to try to figure out where the rubber washers went, and then cram them in there, because again, they didn't actually fit. They were too big. So if it had come with the correct size rubber washers, it would have been easier, or if the instructions had made it clear, I would have at least known, what to do with them. But other than that, I thought the installation was surprisingly easy for such an interesting fan. We'll see quality-wise in terms of how it performs, but in terms of design-wise, I think it's well worth the $300. What do you think that they cost you? They're $350 online. What do you think in terms of comparing to what Fanimation sells? Obviously their quality is not quite Fanimation level, but they're a step above Hunter.
Yeah. Well, sometimes slightly. It could be a little bit on the high price side.
You think this is a little high? What does the Hunter one sell for that's similar to this? I can't remember. It's like another ball fan type thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it sells for. But I mean, especially those blades can't be cheap to make. So
No,
you know, again, we'll check out the quality. We'll see how quiet it is and how much air moves and what the range of speed is. We're getting that in a second before Metal Pete loses his patience. But just based on the design, if I was someone looking for one of these, you know, I think it's worth the retail price. You know, again, we'll get into quality. Other thing to keep in mind, it's not light adaptable. There's not even a light wire. Which doesn't bother me. I wouldn't want to put a light on this, but you know, for example, if you look at the Amazon reviews for the Ascension, if you've ever done that, there's people on there that complain that the Ascension. Do me a favor, turn those lights on because maybe this one might be too dark for having those lights off. Let me just see. There's people on the Amazon reviews of the Ascension. See, now it's perfect with those lights on, but let me see about those. No, those are too bright. So what I need to do is change that frickin' motion sensor so those don't cut off, and then it's perfect. So we'll just walk back there if we need to turn those back on for now, though. So calm down, Metal Pete. I'm getting there. This is like a product review, so we got to talk about it. You know, we didn't do an unboxing video because it's not a lot of room in here, and I just, I wanted to skip. I didn't want to take up additional time, but we can at least talk. We can do a little product review. We can discuss the product.
Oh yeah.
You know, we don't have to just get right into pushing buttons, Metal Pete. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, God, what was I saying? Yeah.
The Ascension.
Yeah, there's reviews on the Amazon page for the Ascension. Somebody gave it 1 star or 2 stars or something because it's not light adaptable. Well, read the thing that says it's not light adaptable before you order it. They ordered it and were mad they couldn't put a light on it. Like, seriously.
Well, it's not meant to be. It's that type sold to be.
Right, but I can understand that people who don't know fans might not pick up on that, but when the thing says it doesn't come with a light, they didn't even complain that it wasn't light adaptable. They complained it didn't come with a light. Like, what? Just do your reading. So anyhow, this doesn't come with a light and is not light adaptable. Came with a wall control, just a regular hardwire wall control that is the first 4, 6, 10 that I've ever seen, which is kind of a cool set of values.
Okay.
So when we get in the decade box, we'll linger a bit on 4, 6, and 10 and see how that works. Okay. So I'm going to talk just a little while longer just to aggravate Metal Pete since he's clearly getting antsy. So, about my day, let's talk about... So for breakfast, I think I had yogurt. My wife and I went out to lunch. Should I talk about my bowel movements? What should you
could talk about cockroaches.
Now Metal Pete said the magic words. We're not talking about cockroaches. Go ahead and hit the high switch, Metal Pete.
Or you could be Donovan and talk about mold.
We're not even going to bother giving him a shout out. We're not going to dignify him with our...
Mold, remember that? That was interesting.
I'd rather not remember that.
There was really no inrush on this one.
So 0.45, these fans these days, they have certain efficiency standards that mean they all need to be pretty well... so it's about a 0 power factor, I'm guessing. I mean, not 0.1, I meant. Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So why don't you go give it an airflow test? Now, we knew it was going to be a little slower than average with those big blades, but I'm getting a pretty good breeze from it right here. I'm guessing it'll still be in the spinner motor hunter category. What are you getting, Metal Pete?
It's definitely high-end spinner hunter.
Oh.
I mean, I'm really feeling, those curved blades are kind of giving...
That's true. They're giving you like an industrial.
Yes, that's just what I was saying. Yeah, they do give
it looks bigger than 52-inch, but it's supposedly 52-inch.
Yeah. Okay. They gave a power factor 1. We'll do spin down, and then I'm going to hit reverse switch and do it again.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do the decade box first, and then when we do reverse, let's do it with 4, 6, 10 high, like it would if it had factory speeds.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's silent. I mean, that should be no surprise. But yeah,
it's gonna have a long spin down with this.
Yeah, those are pretty big blades.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm moderately impressed with the performance, given that anytime you have a fan where the blades are fancy and they're not like a blade shape, you always sacrifice airflow, whether it's palm leafs or something like the Torrento or the
Islander.
Not the Torrento, the Torto. Well, that's what I meant by palm leaf. I meant the Aviston. So when you get something like the Enigma that has an unusual blade shape and still moves as much air as a similar residential fan than with regular blades, it's really impressive. Is the heater off?
Oh.
It's a little chilly in here still. It's not like cold, but you know, it's not getting there.
I thought it was moving the blades first.
It might have been. That heater's pretty strong.
Yeah. We're trying to keep the blades still when we're taking our picture. What? I guess, well, I had one video. I think what video was I was shooting the...
A little smudge on that blade too, huh?
Yeah, I was shooting the...
Yeah, I like it. Let's see if Neil likes it. You were shooting the...
It was either the Panasonic or... maybe it was my Moss... Oh, it was my Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxe. The vented Moss Tropical Breeze.
Yeah, those are great fans.
It is. It's impressive. Okay, so you want to do decade box
yes,
first?
let's do decade box, and we'll linger a little extra on 4, 6, and 10.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Those are the factory speeds.
Yes, so 1. Oh!
Ho ho! So why you don't have it start on 1, Quorum? Because nobody actually wants an aesthetic low speed except for us. That's like a collect.
It started on 1, and I think, that Escalade also started on 1 for being at portable fan type. Started on 1 last night. Here's 2.
So, I like an aesthetic low speed. So, for my living room, I would probably do 2, because I think 1 is a little silly. But I would definitely modify my receiver to have a 2. Because I can tell you right now that 5 is going to be too fast for me for my low.
Here's 3.
You can give it you can let it hang a little longer.
On 4. Here's 4.
Actually, he's just rushing through.
Oh.
This is this is a review and a demo. So 4 is actually a pretty classy low speed. Unless it's gonna take a little time and speed up, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like that's about the speed. So I'm actually fine with that as a low. Okay. I would still probably do 2 or 3 as my low, but if it came with the wall control and that was the only option, I'd be fine with that as a low. Okay, what's 5 do? Because that's a learning remote.
Yes. Well,
so that's probably more like the kind of low speed you like there on 5, I would think. It's a little fast for me.
It's like a medium low.
It's a little slow for medium low, but we're getting into we're getting into minutia.
Well, for this type of fan, it looks to me like a medium low. Now here is 6. This would be the factory medium low then.
That one. Excuse me. El Sneezo. Well, one more coming. Hold on. Let's be.
Oh. This is 6 right here. This is your medium.
That's a good medium low. I'm on board with that medium low.
7. Let's see what it's drawing. 8. Yeah, that's a little fast for a medium low. That's my wall control in the living room. 9. And here is 10 with the medium high. Right here would be its medium high.
That's a little. I like a fast medium high. So this is a tad.
Well, it's getting pretty close to.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess maybe I'm just not used to. Well, do me a favor. Switch it to high. Let's see the difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually good medium high. I just forgot that high was a little on the slow side.
It was already, so this is already getting close.
Yeah, that's actually good. So okay, the only thing I would do, I would have a slightly lower low speed, but most consumers don't want what I want, so that's actually.
And here's 12 right here, which is the learning remote medium. 13. Didn't really go up much on 13. Here's 14.
No, it might level out.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we're right practically at high on 20. 25, 30. Okay, so 30 I'm at 0.45. It's not really. 42. It's not even drawing more current than I maxed out. Just to show that it levels off.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, we kind of figured it was going to do that, but it's always...
Okay, well... I was also going to say that Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxe that I was shooting. Get this, I shot a long video because it had a very long spin down. Problem was, I've been starting because I used my phone to shoot.
Yeah.
I have unlimited data, which means I can upload finally.
Yeah.
But the problem was I was getting a little frustrated that.
Well, don't get frustrated, man.
No, I was getting frustrated that it would not let me upload more than 15 minutes of video.
Interesting. There might be a setting in your YouTube because I can upload longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the
I was using the iPhone YouTube app from Photos, and it said 15 minutes max.
Maybe that's what it is. I can know from I use the YouTube app.
Yeah, I have a YouTube app too.
But I've actually stopped uploading from my phone because now that I have better internet at home.
Yeah.
What is that, 4?
Yes, this is 4.
That's not a bad low speed, honestly. Do me a favor and leave it on 5 for a little bit. I just want to see how bad it would be if I put it in my living room and did the learning remote without changing any values. I want to see.
Okay, here's 5. See what kind of... Slightly faster right there.
It's still not the end of the world. I just would like a slower, but it's not, it's doable.
Sure.
Doable.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta look because I did it both ways. I tried, even using the YouTube app. And it still was, giving me error, saying, too long of a video. 20 minutes is too long.
Yeah.
It was just...
Well, here's my thing. So, since when I used to live at the condo, we had AT&T Uverse.
Yeah.
Which is really terrible internet, at least around here.
Uh-huh.
And you can go to 6.
Yeah, here is 6.
And walk back there and set those lights off again. Sure. I'm gonna change that timer one of these days, now that I know that it's helpful to have them on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I have, we have an AT&T Uverse at the condo, and it was unbearably slow to try to upload from my internet connection. It was faster to upload from my phone. And, when we moved here, we got Charter, which is a lot faster, so it's actually quicker for me to just take the videos off my phone and upload for Charter.
Okay, and then here is 10 with your medium-high from that wall control they gave you. Okay. So 0.37. So I just went from 6 to 10. That's its medium-high.
Yeah, I like the speeds on it. Again, I would probably do 2 or 3 for my low just to have an aesthetic low. But I like the range of speeds. I think they were smart with this control.
Yeah. Now, I actually have from my Ascension, there was a control in the box. Mm-hmm. It was a 4711.
I like 4711. That's a good range. I
mean, it probably would work just as well on this. If you did a 4711, it would practically almost might be a little hair faster, for medium high, but.
So everybody's probably seen by now, Cole videoed his Ascension today, and I made him a custom remote and receiver the same way that I do for a lot of the fans in the museum, and I did for some of the fans in my laundry room. And I'm wondering, I can't remember what, I know I changed the low capacitor to a 3.
Okay, so the same is, I was just going to say the current draw is the same on reverse.
It should be. And then power factor is going to be lower on the lower speeds because of... It always is when you send it through a capacitor. You always, the power factor drops.
Oh, I have it on high.
Yeah, so what is that? Low?
Yeah, 9 watts.
Yeah, so that's a very low power factor.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's something you should expect. Anytime you're using capacitors for speeds, the power factor is going to be significantly less than 1. And I'm not smart enough to know why that is, but it makes sense to me. If that makes sense. I don't understand it well enough to explain it, but it makes sense to me. So what do we got left? Solid state?
Yes. Yes, solid state. Well,
did you forget to reverse it?
Yep.
For shame, Metal Pete.
Okay.
So far silent.
Maybe.
Nope, not now. I mean, there's not a lot of vibration isolation, so I didn't expect it to be silent. There's no rubber flywheel, there's no rubber grommets or anything.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
it's not one I would use on a solid state anyways, but it's borderline living room quiet. It's maybe a little noisy depending on your living room.
Your solid state high with the same current draw, 0.45.
Well, Anything else you can think of you'd want to try with this before we take it down and do something else? We got time for, I would say, 2 or 3 others, depending. I probably want to, just because I had a long day, and I had a long day yesterday, I probably want to start wrapping up around midnight, and it's about 10.
Yeah. So
that should be easily time for 2, maybe 3, depending on how complicated they are.
All right.
Anything else you want to try with this one, though? Because I like this. I don't mind playing with this, you know? Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I like it. I honestly think I like it as much as I thought I would. You know, one other thought I had is I'd love to see Cole do a review of it, so if he's interested, maybe I'll ship it to him, and he can do a review of it, and then he can ship it back to me when he's done with it.
Like, let's see. Like I said, I would do 4. That's 4. That's its low speed that it comes with.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I use my 4-7, that's 4-7. So this would be the medium low right here on my bedroom.
That's not bad. That's actually, I like that better, I think, than the factory speed. I think that's a
this is 7.
pretty good medium low.
Yeah, so say 4-7 and then 11.
That's 11?
Yep, or 12, which is like 4-7 and 11.
High, let me see the difference. Still a difference.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's my biggest thing between medium high and high. I want it to be where you think it's on high until you actually go to high, and then you see a noticeable difference.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I like my medium high.
That's perfect, because I do the same with my gold lines.
It's like, oh yeah, that's high, right? That looks pretty fast. And then you hit the high switch, and boom, nope, it had a ways to go. There were still some horses under the hood.
Exactly. That's why like the 8, 12, 20 was perfect on the Union gold lines.
Yeah.
Because 20, it's like I get the backed off high, and I use that speed a lot.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I think I liked the Union gold lines and the second generation just the same.
Yeah.
Now that I'm an adult, I like the Union ones so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they've become a little bit more elusive in collecting. They're a little bit harder to find. And, you know. Go ahead, Metal Pete.
But I see more of the Union ones. I only saw the second generation ones at the one pick and save grocery store.
See, I saw a ton of those when I was a kid. We had a post office with them, and we had, Hallmark stores all had them. There was a shopping mall that had 2 in the atrium on vaulted ceiling kits. Yeah, those were everywhere, but so are the Unions. I mean, this is we live in EnviroFan Central. Yeah. We got a little off topic there. So Quorum Jubilee, I like it.
Yeah.
Again, the issue with installation is the difference between this and Fanimation. And it wasn't a big issue, you know, it was just a little, if the washers had been a little smaller, the instructions had been a little clearer, I would have said the installation was a breeze, pun not intended. But given that neither of those were the case, Metal Pete and I, how long did you say we spent trying to figure out the deal with the washers? Probably spent at least 5 minutes on it.
Yeah.
And maybe even 10. We weren't timing it, but we definitely spent
good amount.
Delayed our installation a little bit trying to figure out exactly where those washers went.
I mean, I got the motor up and, the assembly.
That was
mounting.
easy.
That's standard.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that sets this apart from, I consider Fanimation and Emerson to be the current top tier of manufacturers, and then the second tier is, Casablanca, Higher End Hunter, Quorum, Kishler, Minka, Modern Fan might be in the top tier because they still have some KFD5 type fans.
Modern Fan Company, yes.
I've never had a brand new in the box Modern Fan, so I can't honestly say I've only had secondhand ones. Very excited about Modern Forms too. They seem like they're just introducing some great stuff for the industry. But for now, I consider Fanimation and Emerson to be the top when it comes to quality, which is interesting because Emerson is not at the cutting edge. They're they're a little bit behind when it comes to design and just being progressive in the fan industry. But they're still, in terms of quality, I still rank them at the top because Casablanca has decreased some and Emerson really hasn't. Okay, well, this has been a nice long video review of this. I'm excited to upload it and see what you guys think. I think this is going to be the first video of any of these on YouTube. You know what? I think I'm going to stop this and do a brief Instagram video. No, I won't bother. I'll just do the picture. Yeah, so this is the first, I looked and I couldn't find any video of these, so I'm actually really excited to show you guys this, and hopefully I will have a place to hang it sooner or later. Cole, if you're watching and you're interested in in doing your own demonstration of this, I'll pack it back in the box and send it off to Museum Fargo, and you can video it and send it back. Just let me know. This is kind of a test to see if Cole watches my videos all the way through to the end, which isn't fair of me, because even though I watch a lot of his videos, I don't watch all of them, and I don't watch them all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
But even so, who said that all tests had to be fair? Anything else you want to add, Metal Pete, about this YouTube first time and video review here of the Jubilee?
Well, actually, it definitely feels like an industrial. That's the one thing I kept saying about it, is just the way the airflow is. It's very industrial-like with the curved blades.
So, if anybody's watching that's not like a fan person the way that Metal Pete and I are, what he likes about this fan the most is that since the blades curve out, it has a wider air dispersion than most of my residential fans.
Yeah,
it's definitely not something I would consider to be resilient enough for industrial use.
No, of course not,
But if you have a large space and you need to move a lot of air within your large space, and then this might be a very useful.
If I had the longer down rod, my living room would be that.
Oh, that would look cool in your living room.
Yeah, that whole area that's open.
Your parents wouldn't go for it though because there's no light.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, otherwise I'd let you borrow it and we could do a video there. And it's a standard down rod, so you could easily, you know.
Just extend it, get a longer one, because I would need to for those blades to clear the slope.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the one thing I always say. Blades have to clear the slope, especially on the down slope.
Well, you got to get up on the down slope. Everybody get up. That's a George Clinton song. I didn't think you get the reference. Somebody else might. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've told our stories and we've talked about our days and everything with the Quorum Jubilee. We're gonna do 1 or 2 more fans. Thanks for watching.